Hello there, Eagles fans, and welcome back to our Eagles Therapy Podcast. My name is Basil.
And I'm Baz.
And we are recording Monday, December 18th, 2023, a little bit less than an hour after the Philadelphia Eagles' most disappointing loss, I would say, of the season to the Seattle Seahawks, losing the score 20-17 in another embarrassing fashion. Overall, Dad, tell me what you think.
Well, I think our offensive coordinator is terrible. I think our play calling is awful. We had this game in hand just like we did the Jets game.
Yeah.
And, we don't know how to put it away. I mean, We're driving, put it away. We're at their 45-yard line, and we throw it into the end zone for whatever reason. I have no idea. We're moving the ball. We're finally playing chess, and we do what we did. We just gave the ball back to them, which really wasn't the end of the game, but we're driving to win the game. It was just ridiculous.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Yeah, it's hard to sit here and say I'm surprised at this loss. We went into it with a lot less confidence than probably a lot of Eagles fans. As far as their wide receivers and their defensive backs and just all that sort of stuff, I didn't expect it to be this close up until the end. I thought they'd kind of beat us a little bit better, but once you're winning by 17 to 13 with a minute 52, you kind of start to feel confident. But I looked at you when we gave the ball back to them. Not the first time when we threw the interception. That was with like 7 minutes left.
Right.
Which is funny because that felt like the end of the game, but you don't even realize that our defense got a 3 and out.
Yeah.
There. And we got the ball back, and then
yes, we did.
Punted it away with, they had a minute 52 left or something like that. And it just kind of, I looked at you and I'm like, we've only scored 17 points. Like that's just not, it's not enough. Like this is
the worst part was we stopped DK Metcalf the whole game.
Yeah.
The whole game. He had like one catch, 8 yards, and it's just
turned it around.
The defensive backs played decently. The defensive line was great, but just they just don't know how to put a game away. And it's just, I hate to say it, but it just there's not much left. I really don't believe there's much left. It's a shame. Yeah. Kelsey's playing his butt off. But the rest of the team is playing hard. But just the offensive play calling, it's got to go. It's just. To throw it, even earlier in the game when we were driving the ball after we'd scored, we're driving the ball, and then they throw that pass play down the field. I'm going, what are you doing? It's 2nd and 6. It's 2nd and 5. Just get 3-4 yards. Just keep moving the ball. They don't know what they're doing.
Yeah. To start off from the top, I'll just mention I have to say this about the defensive line. We talked about it in our preview. If you haven't watched, please do. We talked about it in our preview that the key of this game, as the last 3 games, was to sack the quarterback. Whether it was Geno, whether it was Drew, we didn't know really till going into the game, was to sack and pressure the quarterback. And what ended with, 1-2 sacks? I don't even think 2. Yeah, 2.
We had a few.
2 because of his knee was down when he threw the ball.
Remember, that was the only second one.
So that was the second one. So 2 sacks in the game. Not enough, and I don't think I'm overstating this by saying our defensive line is incredibly overrated. I don't know what happened to Carter and what happened to Davis and Milton Williams and Fletcher Cox, but earlier in the season, we had that 4-man rotation, a little bit of 5 with Marlon Tuipulotu, and it felt like this run defense was amazing. And the last few weeks, they're just non-existent. The last month really, they're non-existent. I don't know what happened to Carter, Davis, Cox, Williams, but at one point they looked unstoppable, and now it's overrated. Yeah. It's not like, they're underperforming. No, it's overrated. Yeah. And next time we go into these games and you hear the analysts and the announcers at the beginning of the game say, this defensive line, no, they're not. They're not good. They're not great. They're good, but they're not great. Don't pretend, this is a top 5, top 10 defensive. No, with Sweat and Reddick, non-existent the whole game.
It's just amazing that even offensively, again, I know I'm going to the other side, but we're moving the ball, and how many times we shoot ourselves in the foot. We had that one, the when we were down there with 3-4 yard line, and then it was 3rd and 6, and then we run it instead of trying to throw it in the end zone. And I'm just perplexed at how we have these offensive weapons we talk about, but. You can't have just 3 guys. You got to have more than that. You got to throw the ball. But, it really was – it comes down to that. Again, we're driving. We're at the 45-yard line. We just need 20 more yards to, even if just field goal in another three minutes. But we throw in the end zone for trying to get a quick touchdown, which makes no sense at all.
Yeah.
To me, no sense.
I like what you said about how this team doesn't know how to win, because it's funny. It's a whole reverse from 4 weeks ago when we beat Buffalo. Everyone was, against the Chiefs, against Dallas, this team they know how to win. It's funny how it's the complete opposite. They really don't. They really don't know how to win because the game was over when Swift got that first down and stayed in bounds.
Right.
When he got outside,
right, exactly.
The game was over, and
it should have been over.
It's incredible that it wasn't. It's incredible that they.
Well, then there was that one play. I think it was second down after we were still driving in that same drive, and then I don't know what it is, but we throw these screen passes to our wide receivers who are getting. You could see a guy's covering the guy right there, and that happened 2 or 3 times.
2 times.
And then the one time that he gave the ball to Swift, 2 guys on him. If he had just pulled that ball in, ran to the right side, there was probably 15 yards there. I mean, I know we talked about this before where. I don't want to say, but throw it all on Hurts, but it's like should have ran that one, should have given that one, should have kept that one. It happens all the time, but it's just that I can't get over that throw into the end zone.
Well, yeah,
can't get over.
Next thing I want to talk about is the coordinators. We talked about how this offensive coordinator is. For the last few weeks, I've tried to find ways to defend him. He gets us in the red zone. We were getting touchdowns a lot at one point in the season. We were scoring. After a rough beginning of the season, he started to learn, but it is coming to the point where I can't imagine he's back next season.
I hope not.
And if he is, I don't know what to say. Yeah. I mean, I know guys learn and maybe he's better, but I just don't understand this offense. It's funny because it's not even that. The offense, it's not bad. The offense isn't bad. The offensive coordinator is horrible.
The play calling
is atrocious. I mean, it's terrible.
You tell me if you got a comment or something, let me know. But I just can't. To do what we did, why are we throwing the ball to the end zone when we're driving the ball?
And that's being said to Quez Watkins, which I do have to say is a guy that we have defended in the past on this podcast.
Yes.
And I just have to say it's not even always his fault. This one was. He should have turned around. And I know there will be Eagles fans who were saying that was pass interference. And yes, when you slow it down to the slowest motion, the slowest video evidence, yes, it was. It could have been pass interference. But
you're not going to get
the thing. On 1st and 10, when you throw the ball 60 yards in the end zone and you're leading in the fourth quarter, you don't deserve a pass interference call. The referees should know and go, you know what? They don't get pass interference because that was the stupidest thing you could have done.
Yeah.
And let me just say again, with Quez Watkins, we've defended him. It has to be over. It's not even like I said, it's not always his fault. But bad things happen when you throw the ball to Quez Watkins. It just doesn't end up. It's bad things happen. It is. I hate to say it, but it's a few times last year, like 2 or 3 interceptions were thrown towards Quez Watkins' way. Yeah. It's just bad. It doesn't. Bad things happen when you throw it his way.
It just should have never been. That was not a play in the book at the time. First of all. Okay, we scored a touchdown there, but there's still 7 minutes left. We're driving the ball. Yeah. We're running, and you could tell if you watch the game again, you'll see the Seattle defenders looked like the Dallas defenders did yesterday. Shoulders were down. They're like, we can't stop these guys. Yeah. And then we throw the ball away. We throw the game away. Just unbelievable.
And then it's funny
hard to watch.
To touch more on the play calling later in the fourth quarter. They go down and score, of course. James Bradbury is just atrocious, which I'll have more to say in a second. But we finally get the ball back with 32 seconds left, I think.
Right.
There's hope, sure, whatever you want to think.
Timeouts.
We get 3 timeouts. That's great, cool. 32 seconds. Prove what you can do. Great first play. Hurts gets, 20 yards on a run, a QB draw.
Right.
Kind of gets us some hope. We're almost at the 50-yard line, and then – we don't use the middle of the field with 2 timeouts. No, we throw a deep bomb
on the sidelines
to A.J. Brown with
double covered.
13 seconds left. We throw that ball, and a lot of people think that was an interception. I think his feet were down.
Definitely, I saw it.
Yeah, I think it was a great catch and a great interception by Julian Love, unfortunately.
But even if he doesn't catch it, there's 6 seconds left.
I was going to say, even if he doesn't catch it, there's 6 seconds left. It doesn't matter if he doesn't catch it. Now there's no time. Right. You've wasted that time by doing a deep
It should have never came to that. This is I still can't get over that. But
to finish it up, these coordinators, I mean, I can't talk bad about Matt Patricia. It's his first game as a defensive coordinator, whatever.
For us.
The whole changing. With the whole changing of the guard and everything. But this play calling on the offense, something has to change. I don't know. It's just so bad.
You can't.
Next thing I want to say, obviously Slay is out. Slay's got his, he had his
Scope.
knee surgery. Out, expected to be back. They hope he's back by the end of the regular season. Don't bring him back. I have to say that. Don't bring him back. Bradbury, out of the game.
Yeah.
Roby, he probably played well actually. Roby, I don't know, out of the game. Kevin Byard, out of the game. You know who we should be playing, and I know this is weird to say, but Keely Ringo, here's the keys.
He tried.
Josh Jobe, here's the keys. Eli Ricks, here's the keys. Sidney Brown, here's the keys.
Missed some tackles.
Oh no, I know,
but still,
it's a bummer.
But no, he's still there. He's covering.
He's there.
He made some plays.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. But unfortunately, we said it last week. It should have happened earlier.
Yeah.
Here we are. I'm at 30-plus-year-old DBs.
Yeah. I'm at the point now where people talk about you want to play the guys who give you the best chance to win, and maybe Slay and Bradbury do, but I can't tell. No. So what's the difference? No. Ringo, Jobe, Ricks, Brown, here you go. Reed Blankenship, you're in charge.
I can't talk bad about Drew Lock, but they shut down DK Metcalf. And, as they showed during the game, DK Metcalf hates the Eagles, does his best against the Eagles every time. Yeah. At the time, he had one catch for 8 yards. I know he caught that one there later in the game, but that's down. He got us to the 30 or 35-yard line, Yeah. But it should have never happened. Of course, somebody let somebody get behind him, and they score a touchdown with 30 seconds left. But, you could see it coming, but it should have never came down to that.
It's a bummer because that play was against Ringo and Brown, but I don't care. I'm just at the point now where he made some good – Ringo, there's some future there. He made some good plays. He knocked the ball out of Metcalf's hand. He had a big tackle on Walker to get him out of the bound. Let these guys play. Let the young guys play. And it feels a lot like 2018, if you remember.
Yeah.
Back in 2018, a lot of our cornerbacks went down. Sidney Jones at the time. I can't even think of what was that guy? He plays for Baltimore now. Come on. He was on the Super Bowl team.
Maddox.
No. Who wasn't there?
Rasul.
No. Ronald Darby.
Okay.
Ronald Darby, Jalen Mills. Yeah, that was it. To start
good.
That season, we had Sidney Jones, Ronald Darby, and Jalen Mills. Right. In 2018, all three of them got hurt. And at the end of the year, we were playing with Roswell Douglas. We were playing some backups, some other guys.
Sidney Jones.
He was injured, but some other no names, and I was okay with it. I was like, don't bring the other guys back. No. I'd rather see this happen, and that's where I'm at now. I don't want Darius Slay back. I don't want Bradbury back, and if we can get Maddox back, sure, but I don't want Roby playing. Play the young guys, man.
Well, it was just the fact of what happened yesterday, and we had our opportunity here. But it's really, do you really see anything coming this year? Do you really?
Oh, no.
Do you hold your breath? We may win these next 3 games, and that's just an iffy, if you ask me, as far as playing the Cardinals. And I don't know.
Cardinals are a good team now.
But, it just again, I can't get over the fact that we're driving the ball. We're playing chess. They couldn't stop us. We're moving here. We're going there. Yeah. And then all of a sudden they do what they did, throw a pick in the end zone. Like, what are you doing? Yeah. You only needed another 30 yards, 20 yards to get a field goal, and that would have put you up by, 20 to 13. Yeah, 20 to 13. At least you're up 7 at least. And then they only had 3-4 minutes left. They were already down to 1 timeout. Yeah. They blew a timeout. It's just – and it just hurts me because, losing to Seattle again – unbelievable. Drew Lock, please give me a break. He played well, but
he did. Yeah, he played really well.
He threw some. I don't know what his stats were. We can't even tell. But
it's hard for me to tell.
Unbelievable.
It's hard for me to tell if a quarterback played well against us or if our defense is just that bad. I can't even sit here and go, "Oh yeah, Drew Lock, he played great." Dude, our defense is just so bad. I can't. I don't even know. know. He could be playing terrible, and they'd probably still be winning.
It's got to be 3rd and 20, or they're going to get the first down, which is another.
It is funny. I know it. I saw some people on Twitter that were kind of funny saying teams should just spike the ball on 1st and 2nd down against us because
go for
an automatic 3rd down, 10. They'll get an automatic 1st down. Yeah,
it's a shame because the defensive line. Some of the play there today was pretty decent. They were inside a lot. Still getting gashed on the run.
I just don't. This defense has.
When it's 1st down and 10,
let's
get some. They're not going to throw the ball. They couldn't throw the ball early. They just could not throw the ball. They were throwing 2-yard passes, guys getting hammered. But then we're throwing those wide receiver screens that were 10 yards behind the line of scrimmage, and guys are getting tackled right away. But what are you doing? Throw it downfield. Okay, go ahead. Because I just can't. Because, we have 2 wide receivers that are
Great.
top tier.
Yeah.
Top 20. Amazing.
Easily.
Can't get open at all. Sorry, they just cannot get open at all.
It just doesn't. I mean, let me speak on that real quick and say,
go ahead.
I wish I had more access to the All 22 film tonight, but I just feel like I don't know what it is about Jalen, but just doesn't see the field. He just doesn't see the field.
Yeah.
Maybe they're not open. Maybe they're not. But let me just say, earlier in the game, he threw that ball right out of bounds to A.J. Brown way up there.
Yeah.
And Devontae Smith was wide open.
Yeah.
You said it at one point. He threw the ball to Devontae Smith, and this guy was running behind him wide open.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is.
Defender fell down. I don't know. I think it was Goddard, but I'm not sure because they never did show it again. But he's running down the sidelines wide open.
Yeah, I don't know what it is, but he doesn't see the field, and his deep ball's just not the same as it was last year.
It's short every time.
Last year, his deep ball was phenomenal. He just was great on the deep ball. But this year, 2 times today, he underthrew the ball. Both times it was picked off, and it's I can't even blame him for those because they're just horrible play calls. But it's bad, and I just don't think he's seeing the field. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe the guys aren't getting open, but to me, it feels like when you have 5 seconds, he'll snap the ball, and the offensive line gives him 4 or 5 seconds. Someone's got to be open, even if it's the check down. It's just he just doesn't see the field the same way he used to. Maybe I'm a little concerned because I think it might have to do with last few years he's been hurt. He got hurt back in 21. Right. He got hurt last year. Kind of being reckless as a player. He plays with
reckless abandon,
head of steam, and he plays with his body. And I feel like this offseason, the coaching staff maybe said, hey, you got to be careful. And I'm at the point where I'm like, don't hold him back. Because he's just he just seems scared a lot. He seems very scared.
Yeah, there were some bad calls. And then the other thing is, here we hear about him being sick and he's not going to play or he's pressure. And then the first play of the game he runs for 15 yards and you're like, well, why are you running him then? Because that was definitely a quarterback run. There's just
quarterback run design is becoming the worst thing I've ever seen up for this team. It's funny because I know a few times this year it's helped.
You called it.
A few times this year it's helped with the the Chiefs touchdown, the Bills touchdown, quarterback draws. Right. They've come in handy, but man, it's just so overused. And it's the wrong times. 3rd and 6.
It's coming.
What?
It's so funny because at one point one of the guys sitting across from me, he goes, it's going to be a Hurts draw. And I'm like, that's the worst thing they should do. Of course, he draws it and he scores, but he gets hit by 3 guys on his way in.
Yeah.
You're like, that's not the way to keep a quarterback playing. Like, that's, we have a running back. We finally did one of the tush pushes. We did flip it to Swift, which was nice. But, then the other one, we got the 5-yard penalty and it took us out of, touchdown zone. We had to kick a field goal. We needed those touchdowns. We needed that.
That's something to say. I know a lot of people were mad about that, but when I saw it in slow motion, Kelsey took that ball and moved it half a yard.
He did.
Like, dude, come on. How do we not do that? And in the rule book, that's an automatic false start. It's a bummer. But, dude, come on. You can't do that.
You should know better. We're going to get a first down. We were it was 3rd and half a yard.
Yeah. But just to finish up that thought, I just think at this point, don't bring Slay back. Don't let Bradbury play. Just let the young guys go out there and play. And if they mess up, okay.
Well, I mean, you have to admit, our odds for going even deep in the playoffs went to 0 tonight. In my opinion,
I would agree with you there.
We'd be lucky to win a wild card game at home against some pathetic 6-10 team.
Yeah,
because we're just not good. I mean, let's just face it. It's just it sucks because Kelsey's going to retire. This was his swan song. We had a great year last year. This year started off fine, but we got to the gauntlet now. But to lose this game tonight was it's a game you had in hand. It's just terrible.
Yeah.
There's no coming back from this, if you ask me. Good luck the next 3 weeks. I don't know.
I can kind of agree with you there. It's a bummer because the Giants, they're starting to look better. I know people have said, but I wasn't too worried about them. But now it's any team. It's on the table.
I'm more worried about the Cardinals than any other team.
Yeah.
They played great yesterday. Not great, but good enough.
They have the ability. They have a phenomenal tight end. Let me just say that. But I don't want to talk too much about another team. But
no, but it's the way it's got to be. I mean, but just looking at that game tonight, again, we had the game in hand. It's 7, 6, 8 minutes left. We're driving. And then we throw the ball. Why don't you just fumble it into their end zone for them? Because that was just pathetic. I still can't get over that. It was I think it was first down. It might have been second.
No, he was 1st and 10.
You're running the ball over him. 10 yards a pop.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, just horrible play call. Yeah. So that's my next question was going to be, we kind of already answered it, but what was your thoughts on the rest of the season? But I've already answered it.
We may go 3-0. We may, really tonight would have been. We win tonight. We win the NFC East, which would have been great. Now
I know what you mean.
I don't know
officially, but yes,
I don't know. I mean, I know we can win the next 3 and still win the NFC East, but tonight was the game. The Cowboys lost yesterday. We had a great opportunity to make some noise, a little bit of noise at least, a little bit of comeback. We lose 3 straight. Just the play call, and I just can't get over it. We were holding our breath every play going, that's a good play call. But, I'm not an offensive guru, but I know that you're supposed to mix it up.
Yeah.
Some of the running plays that Swift had were good. Some of them, he ran into 3 guys, and the ball should have never been given to him.
Yeah.
Some of those out passes, just the one that Goddard was just, you got Devontae Smith at 80 pounds trying to block some guy, and the guy just threw him on the ground and tackled Goddard right away. You're lucky they weren't intercepted. It's just, and then we play, they're throwing the 2-yard passes and we're letting them get 20 yards. It was just pathetic.
Yeah.
Hard to watch, man.
Yeah, I know.
Big change.
Yeah, all I can say is thank God for Buffalo for beating Dallas because, that's just, I got nothing to say there, man.
Oh, but it ruined that was great, but we definitely should have put this one away tonight.
I know.
And we would have been at least, okay, we got past the gauntlet. We won
2, yada, yada. Yeah. Now it's 3-3, and it's funny because there used to be a time where they were like, 3-3.
And can I say something about Pete Carroll?
No.
He drives me bananas with the he doesn't leave the referees alone the entire game, and I'm like, they should be throwing flags on this knucklehead.
He's quite a crybaby.
Oh my!
That's another bummer for losing to them.
Yeah.
He's a great coach. Don't get me wrong.
He's been
for the Seahawks fans who are going to watch this to troll. He's a great coach, but I hate him. I always will. Ever since he threw the ball in the Super Bowl, I will never. I hate him because he lost the Super Bowl. I kind of do.
I do too.
Because they made Brady more immortal.
Yeah, they did.
At that point they could have changed a big story. Yeah. Not like we would have.
I agree.
Talking about another great quarterback as good as him, but.
That was Russell's second quarter Super Bowl there.
Ever since he ran through the ball in that Super Bowl, I've hated him ever since. It's kind of funny, but same with Dan Quinn. Ever since Dan Quinn lost to the Falcons.
Don't bring up that Super Bowl again
with the 28-3.
Yeah,
ever since then I've hated Dan Quinn with my life.
Who's Dan Quinn now?
He's a defensive coordinator for the Cowboys.
Okay.
Yeah, but ever since then I've hated him because I just
we have our own coaching issues to worry about.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's terrible, man. These play.
All right. Well,
what?
I don't know. What are you going to do?
Well, all I got to say is, again, thank you, Buffalo, because we still have the chance. But at this point, I'd love to at least have another banner to hang on the wall saying NFC East champs. That'd be great. But that's it.
It's a moot point.
There's really no unless there is an immense turnover, and we find out that Matt Patricia, after 2 weeks of preparation, is the greatest defensive play caller in our history, and maybe Nick Sirianni takes over the offense, and he should have been calling plays for 4 years. He's one of the best. Unless something like that happens,
let me just say this right now: if we actually were to go to the Super Bowl this year, this would make the Foles season.
I know. Look
like we didn't even get in the game. So,
no, you're right. Yeah,
because
it would make it
the way we look, the way we've been downtrodden, the way we've been kicked by the media, the national media, the way Hurts went from a MVP type to the 30th guy now. But
can you blame them?
No, not at all.
16 turnovers this year.
No,
17.
Today was just pathetic. But he's put in a position to do that. That's not. He should be looking at the offensive coordinator on the sideline saying, I'm not calling that play. I'm not throwing this ball. We're moving the ball. We're going to go score a touchdown in another 8 minutes or another 5 minutes here. It's ridiculous. Just abysmal. All right.
Nothing more we can do than hope. Now at this point, you just got to hope. And that's,
I'll still be watching. I'll still be wearing my green. I'll still be hanging and yelling and losing my voice. But no excuse today. That just was awful. Yeah.
Well, we like to do other stuff, but we really just can't right now. The 3 studs and a dud we like to do and stuff like that. But we just
there weren't many fantasy. I wouldn't say there was many big fantasy. Maybe Walker had a pretty decent game.
Walker had a pretty good
game. He had a touchdown. He had 100 yards or something.
Yeah.
But they shut him down in the fourth quarter. He didn't do anything.
Yeah, well, third quarter he was really great. Then fourth quarter
But that's the thing.
I don't even know if he touched the ball. But that's when they started hitting DK.
Yeah. Well, I don't even know what he finished. Probably 50 yards, maybe.
I would say 78.
He didn't have the touchdown. That was somebody else that got.
And I don't have my stats pulled up.
But that was somebody else that caught it. It wasn't Lockett either, right?
No, that was Jackson Smith-Njigba, the guy who I was kind of most worried about because he's the unknown. Which I mean, he's a rookie. He's not really unknown. He's one of the best rookie.
No, I've heard his name, but
it's you know.
I mean, I don't think Lock threw for that many yards today.
It's funny because you saw that ball go up in the air. I was fully expecting a touchdown. Once he threw it, I was like, well, that's Bradbury's side.
He's wide open.
So there's no way he's.
It was a great catch too, and he kind of bobbled it, but he was definitely in. So
he had 5 catches, 78 yards. So basically, in the fourth quarter, Metcalf had 4 catches for 70 yards. Basically,
so he had 1 for 8 in the first 3 quarters, I believe.
Yeah, I think so. He might have gotten another one in the third, but I don't know.
But not much. They shut him down. I mean, it was great, but they won the game, so he still has his one-ups up on us, but unbelievable.
Yeah. Well, terrible. Anything else you got to say?
I don't want to say anything.
I just can't believe they threw that ball, but okay.
Me too.
All right. Yeah. Well, you can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter. If you like our Eagles Therapy podcast, do us a favor. Rate and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. If you're watching on YouTube, please like and subscribe. Comment below if you have anything to say or have any questions for us or anything you want us to talk about, or if you want to troll us a little bit. We're always big fans of it. It's kind of fun, But as always, from all of us here at Our Eagles Therapy Podcasts, I'm Basil.
And I'm Baz.
Go Birds.
And Merry Christmas. Fly, Eagles, fly.